Anyone for tennis? That's the question that people in Melbourne are asking, with the city in hard lockdown a few months before the Australian Open starts. Grand Slam tennis is back at the US Open without fans, and the French Open will start in 2 weeks with caps on crowds. But can Australia keep the ball rolling in January? Here's 5 things to know about the Australian Open. Welcome to Sports File. Melbourne's been the proud home of the Australian Open for decades, but right now the city is doing it tough. 5 million people are stuck at home during an extended lockdown. City streets are deserted, businesses shut. People can't even go outside to get a haircut. Authorities hope that normal life can resume before Christmas, but that's still uncomfortably close to the start date of the Australian Open on January 18. While Melbourne is in lockdown, Australia overall is a closed shop to international travellers. So the likes of Serena Williams, Roger Federer and all the other tennis players are going to have to spend 14 days in quarantine upon arrival. Now, quarantine in Australia is no picnic. People are put in bland hotels with security guards roaming up and down the halls to make sure they're not going anywhere. Tennis players are likely to have a bit of a better deal. They'll be able to jump in transport and head out to practice courts as part of a Biosecure bubble. Even before the Australian Open starts, there's a number of warm-up tournaments to worry about. This includes the ATP Cup, the new team-based event which is worth a whopping $15 million US. Naturally, it was quite popular with the players. It was also a hit with fans as well when it first went off in January across 3 different cities in Australia, but this time round it's likely to be in just one city to prevent the need for travel. There are other warm-up events around the country, so the local tennis federation is setting up 5 different biosecure bubbles where players can land and prepare safely. The federation is also urging players to come down under really early, like 6 weeks early, so they can get through quarantine, do a bit of a pre-season and maybe soak up some of the famous Aussie sunshine. Australia's strict border controls means international fans are unlikely to be able to come to the Australian Open. But the Federation still hopes that 400,000 Aussies can still pile into the courts and watch some tennis. That's about half the usual capacity. They're likely to be socially distanced, meaning their movements are controlled as they go around the grounds and spaced in the terraces when watching matches. If the situation is a little bit more grim, then it's possible the tournament will go ahead without fans and become a purely TV event, just like the US Open. Now, if things are quite bleak with the health situation in January, it's possible the tournament could be postponed. That would mean finding a new date in the first half of 2021. In the very worst case scenario, however, the tournament would be cancelled outright, just like Wimbledon was cancelled earlier this year. That's obviously the nuclear option that no one really wants to talk about, but unfortunately during these times, it's still a very real possibility.